Hey all, it's NPR's Book of the Day podcast. I'm Glenn Weldon. You don't have to be a goth to enjoy a stroll through a cemetery, especially this time of year with the leaves crunching under your feet. Author Mariana Enriquez was a goth kid, but she says her lifelong fascination with graveyards is rooted in something deeper than her teenage eyeliner and black nail polish. She was born in Argentina during a time when the government was disappearing a lot of people. An entire generation was killed by the military dictatorship without graves to mark their passing. Enriquez's latest book, Somebody is Walking on Your Grave, is a celebration of final resting places around the world. Places she's visited, stories she's gathered. She talked to Ayesha Rascoe about her fascination with sepulchres, tombs, crypts, catacombs, and humble church graveyards. Here's Ayesha.
This message comes from Charles Schwab. When it comes to managing your wealth, Schwab gives you more choices, like full-service wealth management and advice when you need it. You can also invest on your own and trade on Thinkorswim. Visit schwab.com to learn more.
This message comes from Capital One Commercial Bank. Your business requires commercial banking solutions that prioritize your long-term success. With Capital One, get a full suite of financial products and services tailored to meet your needs today and goals for tomorrow. Learn more at CapitalOne.com/commercial. Member FDIC.
Cemeteries might not be everyone's idea of fun, but for Argentine author Mariana Enriquez, they're full of life. They're a doorway into history, memory, and sometimes the supernatural. Enriquez, known for her chilling fiction, turns to real resting places around the world in her new nonfiction book, Somebody is Walking on Your Grave, a series of personal short stories she's collected over the years while traveling to cemeteries across 4 continents. Mariana Enriquez joins us now. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm very glad.
Why are you so interested in cemeteries? They seem like your favorite place to visit.
The first reason is I used to be a goth when I was young, like a goth from age 6 or something.
With the dark hair, wearing black all the time sort of thing.
Reading Edgar Allan Poe. And then with the years, I learned that also cemeteries have a lot to say about life, about the history of the people. And then Argentina in the 70s, that is the decade where I was born, had a dictatorship that made a lot of bodies disappear. Therefore, there's a generation of people that were killed by the government and they don't have a grave. I realized that trauma that is very engraved in my life somehow made me feel that a grave, a tombstone, it's something of comfort. It's a final thing in a good way. So between the very fun, goth kind of thing, there's also a deep reason for all this. And that's why I decided this could be a book.
In the book, you talk about the burial of your friend's mother, who was disappeared during Argentina's dictatorship. This is a deep philosophical question, but why do you think it matters that we find the body after all that time, that we have the burial? Why does that matter to us so much?
Because grieving is important. People don't go through that process. It's absolutely cruel. We don't know what happens after death. And the only comfort we have is the comfort of grieving, of paying respects, of having a place to go and remember. Memory, it's a right.
You visit a lot of cemeteries with all of this history, with colonial settlers, with the marginalized, the disappeared. They're all buried, maybe not side by side. Or I guess, how do you see like those distinctions in life, classism and all of this stuff play out in cemeteries? And is there maybe one cemetery where you felt the contrast most striking?
Well, in every cemetery, you have like the rich at the beginning, or most of the time, the rich at the beginning with the marble, etc., the middle class, and then the people on the ground. But sometimes it's in different cemeteries, and New Orleans, for example. And then there's, for example, what happens a lot in post-colonial societies like Argentina or Australia. An island in Argentina is called Island Martin Garcia, and an island in Australia is called Rottnest Island. white settlers that have their cemetery with their colonial family saying they came from this and this place in Europe. And then you have a mostly unmarked, in the case of Australia, for the Aboriginals and from the indigenous people in Argentina. So yes, you can see it sometimes in the same cemetery, sometimes in two cemeteries in the same town, but it's the same as life. That's what's very striking.
When you're going to these cemeteries, do you often meet people who are also have the same interest as you in cemeteries? Do you meet fellow travelers?
I do sometimes, rarely. What you meet a lot is what I call peregrines. People that go this to see a special grave and you are going to visit the same person. And sometimes you recognize each other, like we see each other. Yeah, there's a very strange kind. I guess I'm one of those strange people too. But to me, the others look strange.
Well, you went to the Paris catacombs to see what remains of the Holy Innocents Cemetery, but you take a souvenir.
Oh, God, that's illegal.
Well, it's in the book, though.
I know, but when things are in books, you can always say, well, it's a bit of fiction. I can say that, but this is a nonfiction book, so, whatever. But I went to the catacombs, and I'm fascinated by this cemetery because it's featured in many, many books I love. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a little bone with me. I mean, I fully respect the people in the catacombs in Paris and stuff, but the security is not great.
Clearly,
because it was not difficult to do that.
You may not want to say if you still have it, because the authorities may be listening, but what do you think of something like that and the respect for the dead? Do you take that seriously?
Yes, of course I think that the dead may be, it was a moment of insanity.
Okay, yes.
It's very wrong. But since I've been very respectful with it, but I also think, taking it more lightly, that sometimes I think when I'm doing these investigations and, walking there and taking my notes and seeing what's written on the graves and the fact that the dead are so lonely, sometimes I think that yes, that you can be a bit less solemn and respectful and go there and have a Coke and have a chat. They were people, they are people, and I think they would like a friend. It sounds weird, but it's not. I wouldn't like to be there lonely forever.
Because you could have some joy. Yeah, you could have some joy around you. Do you know where you want to be buried? I think you talk about this in the book. And how did you decide?
The cemetery of Recoleta in Buenos Aires, where Eva Perón is buried, among other people, but the most famous is Eva Perón, Evita. It's a very aristocratic cemetery. Therefore, you only can be buried there if you are a member of one of those aristocratic families, which I'm not. Since I'm not an aristocratic person, I have to occupy that. And the only way to occupy that cemetery is, to have someone put my ashes there. And I want them to be thrown in a grave that it's a pyramid that says, there's nothing here, only dust and bones, nothing.
That's Mariana Enriquez. Her new book, Somebody is Walking on Your Grave, comes out on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you. It was great.
This message comes from Jackson. Seek clarity in retirement planning at Jackson.com. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Inc., Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York. This message comes from NPR sponsor Rosetta Stone, an expert in language learning for 30 years. Right now, NPR listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership to 25 different languages for 50% off. Learn more at rosettastone.com/NPR. This message comes from NPR sponsor 1Password. Protect your digital life with 1Password. If you're tired of family members constantly texting you for the passwords to streaming services, 1Password lets you securely share or remove access to logins. Access from any device, anytime. 1Password lets you securely switch between iPhone, Android, Mac, and PC with convenient features like autofill for quick sign-ins. Right now, get a free 2-week trial for you and your family at 1Password.com/NPR.